Republican hypocrisy is a redundant phrase, but now that the story about President Biden and classified documents is dominating the news, you might be tempted to think that the double standard is on both sides. Guess again. All right, folks, so we are about a little more than 2 weeks into the new year, and now that Kevin McCarthy is technically speaker, the new meta, the new dominant news story, is all about Joe Biden and classified documents, and to one extent or another, Donald Trump and classified documents. And regarding President Biden's situation, we've done videos about this. We will continue to cover this as it goes on because this is, again, the most important domestic political story at the moment. And especially with a special counsel being, brought in to investigate President Biden. And then, of course, you have the unprecedented situation where you have a special counsel investigating the immediate former president, another special counsel investigating the current sitting president. These two investigations running parallel on some vaguely comparable predicate, which concerns classified documents. And the fact that they're probably going to be, competitors in the 2024 presidential race. That's all very interesting. It's very historic. And as developments occur, we're going to cover it. Now, again, as a reminder, there are many, 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 many substantive differences separating these two stories, and a lot of false equivalences and baseless claims, such as the idea that as vice president, Joe Biden didn't have the authority to classify or declassify documents, even though that's been debunked. But anyway, there's a lot of misinformation and missed opportunities, especially in the media, to correct the issue and to properly contextualize it. Now, some places and some people like Mehdi Hassan from MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, even Jake Tapper on occasion, even Chuck Todd. Well, no, that was about a separate issue. So it was Jake Tapper. Even some centrist-y journalists are at least attempting to push back on the idea that these are comparable. But CNN, of course, because they can't help themselves with their sensationalist, lazy, mainstream both sides approach, they actually put two montages together, but from Democratic politicians and Republican politicians, and what each one had to say about the Trump situation, then contrasted it with the Biden situation. So you have a montage where Republicans say one thing about Trump and then a different thing about Biden, and then supposedly the same thing on the Democratic side. And I thought we should take a look at this because maybe there is a very commonly shared double standard. Maybe the hypocrisy is everywhere in equal measure. I doubt it. But let's take a look. Let's see what CNN has offered us.
What I've seen that the National Archives was concerned about Trump having in his possession didn't amount to a hill of beans.
I don't know what documents were at Mar-a-Lago.
Is it fair to say that investigation won't be a priority?
That will not be a priority. This is very concerning. This is now the second location that the president was in possession of classified documents. Look, what's the vice president doing with classified documents?
This is so outrageous that this has to rise to the level of this better not be a clerical issue between the archivist and the former president. I've been in the Oval Office with the president, and I'd be very surprised if he has actual documents that rise to the level of immediate national security threat. These facts and circumstances are just absolutely outrageous. This is completely mishandling of classified information. Why did he have these documents? When did he get them? Did he get them when he was vice president and then take them with him when he left?
Are you going to hold hearings?
It is possible that we will hold hearings on them.
If they try to prosecute President Trump for mishandling classified information after Hillary Clinton set up a server in her basement, they literally will be riots in the street. I worry about our country.
If there's not a special counsel appointed to find out how this happened with President Biden regarding classified information, there is going to be a lot of it will hurt the country.
Okay, that was Republicans. Now.
Okay, so as Don Lemon here just said, that was Republicans. So now let's hear the Democrats. And again, let's see if the double standard is there, or if it is there, let's see if it's there in equal measure.
Now we look at what Democrats said then and now.
The fact that they were in an unsecure place that is guarded with nothing more than a padlock or whatever security they had at a hotel is deeply alarming.
I think it's a concern whenever classified documents are somewhere they shouldn't be. But we see no evidence of deliberate intent or obstruction of justice as we see in the case of Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago.
If I take documents out of that facility, I have committed a felony. And if a president takes them out of a facility, he too has broken the law.
Classified information needs to stay in secure spaces. So we'll wait to see the facts. But, classified information needs to be in secure spaces.
This is likely criminal, what has happened at Mar-a-Lago. And you have to wonder, why was he hiding these documents even when they were requested? But you also have to wonder, with someone who you cannot trust like Donald Trump, what else is there? Of course I'm concerned. I think the president is concerned. That is obviously, unintentional and outside of the requirements of our intelligence laws. Classified information must remain in secured compartments. But cooperation is coming from the Biden administration and the president's lawyers. And there was zero cooperation from Donald Trump, who tried to do everything possible not to cooperate.
Doesn't seem like there's a double standard on both sides. Okay, maybe some of the rhetoric is not quite as incendiary when it's, a member of the other party, but substantively in that montage, you see it right there. With the Democrats, they offered meaningful distinctions, like the last gentleman who said that, President Biden, as far as the reporting goes, has been cooperating with the relevant federal agencies, the National Archives, the FBI. He has not been the subject of a subpoena. He has not, as far as anyone knows, resisted or, attempted to deceive any of these agencies in the acquisition of classified material. The reporting is his team found this material. As soon as they found it, they notified the National Archives and the Justice Department, and then they went out and proactively were searching President Biden's home and other properties just to make sure that no other documents were there. And some other documents were found. They were promptly turned over. You contrast that with what went on with Donald Trump, and we're talking about a 2-year drama, not a 2-month drama, a 2-year drama in which he repeatedly lied to the National Archives about whether or not classified documents were at Mar-a-Lago. He essentially obstructed an FBI subpoena when they just attempted to go there and get the material, which then again predicated the search warrant. So the two situations are night and day, and Democrats are correct to point those substantive differences out. That's not a double standard. That's saying that the two situations are not exactly the same, therefore, and actually not only are they not exactly the same, they are substantively different, which means that can justify a different response. But even then, all of those Democrats repeatedly said that this is a concern, this is a problem, that classified documents should not be left unsecured, that they should be returned to the National Archives. All of that was reiterated. At no point did any of those Democrats say or imply that what Biden did or what happened on Biden's watch was okay, was permissible. They said it's a concern, it needs to be looked into, this is a problem, but the way that the president is handling this is very, very different from the way in which the last guy handled it. You contrast that with the Republican montage. See how different the response was? It wasn't, well, these two situations are different, so, here are the reasons why they're different. No. It was completely arbitrary. In the case of the Republicans, they were outraged at the idea that Donald Trump should be held accountable to the law, that the law regarding government documents and presidential records, all these things, how dare they apply those laws and those regulations and those precedents to Donald Trump? That's unacceptable. This is an outrage. How dare they? Never mind the fact that he didn't proactively, inform the relevant federal agencies, that he actually resisted them every step of the way, that he lied to them. Yeah, you got everything now. That's all we have. We're good. And then it turns out, no, actually, Trump had more documents that he had concealed from those agencies when they came to collect. I mean, all these substantive differences. And Republicans don't account for that at all. They count on your and my and everybody's, short-term memory. They're banking on each and every one of us not being able to discern the meaningful substantive differences between these two situations. So they don't even attempt to offer any sort of justification for why they responded one way with Trump and a completely different way with Biden. Why this is an outrage and there should be no investigations and there should be no hearings, but in this case there should be, because it is an outrage. So again, the hypocrisy is real. It's important to point it out. And I think that this montage is very illustrative. It illustrates the divide that for all the Democrats' faults, you can, generally speaking, bet that the Democratic Party will more closely hew to its principles, they are less likely to be hypocrites and engage in double standards. Not that they don't do it, they're just much less likely to than their Republican counterparts. And this is proof. Hey you! Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, and I hope that you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you absolutely hated the video, the best revenge for you is also to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. That'll teach me. If you want to share an opinion or share some feedback, go ahead and leave a comment, all right? 2023 is a year of change, hence the aggressive rebrand and commitment to new content. Inspired by my friends Luke Beasley and STV Philly, my personal goal for this channel is to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm hoping you'll do me a solid by spreading the word and the videos to potential fans and hate watchers alike. And in the meantime, we'll be pondering politics again with you very soon.